In the day, in the day, in the day, I do that. In that day, in that day, in that day, beyond my day. In that day, in that day, in the day, in the day, in the day, in my day, in the next, will beyond then. In the next day, in the next day, in the next day, into gonna be Friday. Is that the day? Is that the day? Is that the day? Friday to the next day. Monday is that day. Monday is that day. Monday is that day. Be the next. In that day. In that day. Tuesday next. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. In the day. In the day. In the day. Before you get Tuesday. In that day. In that day. In that day. Beyond the day. Is the next. Is the next. Is the next. Being a Tuesday. In the Tuesday. And then Tuesday. Then Wednesday. Thursday, Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. In the day. In that day. In that day. In that day. For the orange. In that day. In that day. In that day. Day do. In the day. In that book. Then you got more than that. You got that. You will do. Is that then all the same? All that day. All that day. All that day. Be with you in the way. In that same said to be. Being able. Is that what they do? Is that what they do? Is that what they do? I'm being that one. Is that what they do? Is that what they do? Is that what they can be able to be seen without being afraid? Be away from you in the day, in the day, in the day, from the next one, in that day, in that day, in that day, from day to time, in the day, in the day, in the day, day and time, beyond me and then, beyond me and then, beyond me and then, we found two, then there was, then there was, then there was, more than three. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Beyond me? Then there's then. Then there's then. Then there's then. Right before me.